feels like he's completely usurped Jonathan Kuminga in the pecking order.
Yeah.
But again, is that with players? Is that with... I'm not saying the players are always right. They wanted Bradley...
Right. Avery Bradley
a few years ago instead of Jordan Poole. So who knows?
Or Gary Payton II.
Or Gary Payton II, excuse me. So if this is the coaching staff... I have some follow-ups because a lot of the guys on the coaching staff have changed, number one. And number two, they were higher on other players in the past.
Yeah.
Brad Wanamaker.
Bowling Ball Brad.
Being one of them.
K. Scott's favorite
Ty
player.
Jerome. Anthony Lamb.
K. Scott was a Wanamaker stand.
James Michael McAdoo. There have been guys over the years.
NBA champion James Michael McAdoo.
Right.
He had some stretches against LeBron James defending him, believe it or not. Did a couple possessions.
The point that I'm getting at is that I'm just curious, where is that coming from? Yeah. Is that just the team as a whole? Like everyone with the Warriors thinks exactly the same? Or is that different people are thinking of it that way? Like that, I want to know that.
Well, Steve Kerr did mention that nobody's untouchable with the exception of Stephen Curry. So he did say that. So we know that's coming from Steve Kerr. To your point about the coaches, real quick, breaking down that point. Hiring Terry Stotts, Jerry Stackhouse, Slater wrote a great piece about that. Stotts is going to bring some ideas. He did mention that, hey, read and react is the best way to play basketball, but we're going to add some elements to it. So we got that going on with Terry Stotts. And then he mentioned Jerry Stackhouse being a former player. Remember, they had all these former players on the bench. They haven't had that over the last 2 years. Now having Stackhouse and the respect he commands as being a former NBA player and a former NBA All-Star, I think it's going to be different. I think the Warriors needed to kind of give a little jolt to their coaching staff and have some experienced voices. Now, Bruce Cruz-Fraser is going to be on the second row of the coaching staff bench. He's going to take a back seat. Stackhouse sitting next to Steve Kerr. So you got that going on. The Podz thing, you are right that we all feel like Kuminga has a higher ceiling, quote unquote, than Brandin Podziemski. But who's the better team basketball player right now? We're splitting hairs with that one. But it does feel like Podz, we see him showcasing the jerseys. We see him out at the WABA. We see him in summer league. He is being propped up to a level where we're like, damn, that's Kuminga. Or another guy we forget about all the time, Moses Moody.
Yeah, well, he already jumped Moses Moody. I'm not being disrespectful.
No, I know you're not being disrespectful.
Like he took a spot.
So I don't know why. I guess I don't know the question to why he's been Podz is a solid dude. He seems like he has a high IQ, plays the way they want to play, does all the little things. But boy, I bet you most teams would probably say, give me Kuminga and I'll work with the flaws.
Are we overrating Podziemski?
Well, where's he rated? I guess that's the question. First team all rookie.
This is why
he made first team all rookie,
This is why
right?
I asked you the other day. Like, I was like, what is he? Is he a point guard? Is he a combo guard? Is he a shooting guard? Is he a backup? Is he a starter? And you're like, well, he's a really good player. And I'm like, I agree. He is a good player. To me, he's like a very young Dante DiVincenzo.
I'm not mad at that.
I see a lot of great properties from him, and I just don't know if that guy can be a starter for your team throughout an 82-game series season and then through each series in the playoffs.
Well, again, as Pod said, though, I want us to really be careful with the starting thing. Now, if you're going to put him in the starting five and you play the Minnesota Timberwolves against Anthony Edwards, you're probably going to play the matchups, right? But is he a guy you can finish a game with? Can he make winning plays for you in the last 5 minutes of the game? That's something I don't know the answer to yet. But he did make first team all rookie. And I thought this rookie class was stacked. But I guarantee you if you ask feds, all right, there's Chet, there's Victor, there's Brandon Miller, there's Jaime Jaquez Jr. from the Miami Heat. Now you look at the second team. Amen Thompson from one of the twins, the Thompson twins, with the Houston Rockets. Derek Lively second with the Dallas Mavericks.
They were from Oakland, right?
The Thompson twins,
yes.
Derek Lively second from Duke University.
Yes.
Keontae George from the Utah Jazz. Casey Wallace from Oklahoma City. And you got G.G. Jackson, who we saw cook the Warriors on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Yeah. I guarantee, I'm willing to put my bottom dollar on it that I guarantee you the Warrior fan or NBA fans, they would say, give me those guys on the second team over Podz right now.
Really?
I think a lot of people would say that.
I think he was better than G.G. Jackson all year. Wouldn't you?
I think he was more consistent by far.
Yeah,
but I think the flashes that G.G. Jackson showed, I think a lot of fans would say, well, he has a higher upside. He's bigger. He's more athletic. He can shoot the ball. I think NBA fans will take 5 of these, like Derek Lively II, especially after watching his playoff run. Like, damn, he's a big who can roll to the rim, plays above the rim. The Thompson
but I don't think Derek Lively's ever. Admit I could be wrong, but I don't see him as an all-star.
I don't either. I
think he's a very functional big who can start.
Right.
But I also don't think he's closing every game.
Yeah,
Currently,
probably not. You got Daniel Gafford there, but could Podz be an all-star? I wouldn't focus so much on that because they only let 12 guys on the all-star team in each conference.
Part of the Kuminga conversation is. Could Kuminga be
an all-star?
Not just an all-star. Can he lead your team in scoring one day?
It's possible.
Not many guys. Like, guys could put up 20 on bad teams and be a sidekick or whatever for someone else and lose. Can you be the best player on a winning team? That's a whole different conversation. If we were to say like superstars, like that's superstar tier 1. The next step is like, can you be the Robin to somebody's Batman? That's the question about Kuminga. I don't think Podz is in that conversation. I think he's the tick below it. Like, really good contributor, but I don't even know if he's a starter, but really good player. I think he can be a high-level winner on a high-level team.
Right.
I think a lot of teams would die to have.
Exactly, and that's where the NBA is going. You look at the Boston Celtics and the way they're constructed. People will probably take 5 point guards over Drew Holiday. I truly believe that. I think they take 5 point guards above Drew Holiday, but Drew Holiday fits and he does the things that can complement star players. And that's where Podz is at right now.
No,
I think he may be a better complement to star players than Jonathan Kuminga right now. Kuminga, can he make your team better? Can he make teammates better right now? I think he has the ability to do it. I've seen glimpses of it, but right now Podz has shown more in just his small sample size as being a rookie of being more of a team player and making winning plays for your team.
If Steph wasn't on this team and you just had Podz and Kuminga, who's the best player?
I would still say Kuminga.
Let's say, Steph and Wiggins and Draymond are not here. Those are the 3 winner older guys. Take them off, and it's a Podz Kuminga team. Who's your best player?
It's probably Kuminga. I don't know, because you know what?
I actually think it would be Podz team now that I think of it that way.
No, because the two-man game, because Podz would fill up the stat sheet. He's going to make a lot more winning plays. However, Kuminga, we haven't seen him have that ability to have the ball in his heads. So if you take Steph and Dre and Wiggins in this hypothetical off the team, Kuminga's going to have more usage. He's going to have the ball in his hands more. He's going to probably make more plays for his teammates. His role is just completely different to Podziemski's.
No, I agree. But listen to this conversation. So this leads me back to, why would we want to give up either one of these guys? I actually think they have a little something with these two.
I don't think we need to.
So why are we in this big... And I get Markkanen's better right now than both of those guys. I think in 2 or 3 years, these are the 2 guys that are going to kind of usher you. Now, I don't know what that ceiling ends up becoming, but I think they're going to usher you into a different, conversation and a different, era of Warrior basketball. I'm not ready to give up either of these guys. I kind of want to keep both.
No, and it goes back to the question.
The more we're talking this out.
Yeah, no, and that's why it goes back to the question I asked the other day, 888-957-9570. Is the team currently constructed as is with these players? And now we're banking on Wiggins having a bounce back, and we're banking on elite for. I am. I'm going to buy stock in the Wiggins. I'm buy stock in the Wiggins. He's all down.
When it happens.
I already bought the stock. Okay. Just like I bought the stock in Blake Snell. Buying the stock in Andrew Wiggins. I'm all in on Andrew Wiggins. I'm here to work out. It's been phenomenal for him this offseason. He's not hurt. But as currently constructed, I do believe the Warriors could win as many games with this group that they have right now than if they traded this core group for Lauri Markkanen. I think they could win as many games as they can if they gutted this team and traded all those picks and those 3 players for Lauri Markkanen. I'm not sure they win the same amount of games that this team right now with the pieces they've added. I don't think they're better. I really don't.
Why not?
It's just one guy who just scores. Can he impact the game defensively? Can he make winning plays? This is a guy who gets to the free throw line at 7 feet just over 4.5 times a game. We're talking about a guy who lives on the 3-point line. And then when you think about the landscape of the Western Conference and all the athletic specimens, can you guard Lauri Markkanen with, I don't know,
Rui Hachimura?
I think you can. Can you guard?
I just threw that name out there.
Can you guard Lauri Markkanen with a Jaden McDaniels? I think you can. Can you guard him?
McDaniels is probably guarding Steph.
He's probably guarding Steph, but you get what I'm going here.
No, I get what you're saying.
If Steph's not on the floor.
They got KD, but we got Jaden McDaniels.
I think you can guard. I think he's very guardable with guys who are about 6'8", 6'7", 6'9".
That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how much better you are with Lowry Markkanen.
So now you're not doing the deal.
I've never done the deal. I've never done the deal for Lowry Markkanen. Never. Not for the price that everybody was asking for, because from day one, when this just came up a month ago.
So we're doing it as broken parts. So we're stealing the, the catalytic converter. We're giving you Wiggins, Moody, and some picks for Markkanen.
I'd rather keep Wiggins and Moody.
No, I'm saying that's where we're at now.
Yeah, I wouldn't even do that. I don't think, from day one, Shasky, you know this, I've been consistent with this, the whole process of the whole Markkanen talks. What is it going to cost? And everybody say, well, you could get Chris Paul and Andrew Wiggins. And I really thought, you really think Danny Ainge is going for that? We're talking about Danny Ainge here. That's the other element here. Danny Ainge knows, yeah, we really like Podziemski. Well, why does Danny Ainge like Podziemski?
The thing I keep thinking about is, like, if you're an older Warrior fan, we basically watched the Wizards have our team for a couple of years, and they flamed out in the East. But I got angry watching Gilbert and Antoine Jamison and Larry Hughes with the Wizards, even though I know it didn't materialize to anything. That's how bad we were as Warriors.
They at least made the playoffs.
No, they were fun. They were a lot of fun.
4 or 5 seeds.
Yeah, they were a lot of fun. I feel like if you do this deal and you're giving up Podz and Kuminga, you're basically turning the Jazz into the team that you could have.
Yeah, I'm with you. So
because we're all clinging to the hope that Steph can garner it back for a year or two, and they can make a run in an already loaded West. I think they need to be more realistic and just kind of like bite the bullet on this.
I've never been in, Shasky, you know this. I've said this every day. I'm not high on Lowry Markkanen. I'm just not.
I am for the if you told me Moody, Wiggins, picks, I'd probably do it in a heartbeat.
Now we're putting a lot of pressure on Kuminga to defend guys. And
yeah, but if you want to get paid $40 million a year, Kuminga, like that, this is part of it.
Well, then if he flames out, then you got to move on from another wing defender.
I mean, if he flames out,
you know
you're
what
screwed.
I'm saying? I'd bank
screwed.
on, like, I was writing this down yesterday, and we'll get to Malik in Union City. Actually, let's check Malik in Union City as I look at my notes here. Malik in Union City, what's happening? You're on the roast. Or Bonta and Shasky.
Yeah, it's good seeing y'all in the afternoons. I don't really get to hear y'all that much in the afternoon, so it's awesome to hear y'all right now.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, man. Hey, I just want to say, man, this Podz situation is ridiculous, dog, and I don't really know what the Warriors front office is doing. It really don't sound like they're trying to do anything, really. Like, they didn't want to trade Kuminga for Pascal Siakam in the middle of the season. Now they want to trade Kuminga or don't want to trade Kuminga. They have Lauri Markkanen possibly on the line. They don't want to trade Podz. They want to get rid of all their bad pieces for, guys that are either elite or borderline elite, and nobody's going for that. No team is going for that. So I don't know what the front office is doing. I don't know really what the direction is. If they run with this current team right now, we know what it is. Like, I don't think we beating the Wolves. I don't see us beating the Suns. I don't see us beating Denver. I don't see us beating Dallas. Like, we stuck in this one position. Like, I'd much rather consolidate what we got going on right now, allow them kids to go somewhere else where they can thrive, and then put something together where we can really make a run at this thing. I know people don't believe that there's another championship in it, but there might not be a championship, but there's some way that you can possibly get to at least get in a contender status to give yourself a shot. And I don't think waiting on Podz and waiting on Kuminga to reach their ceiling when they haven't hit their ceiling yet, and that's just being generous, is going to work, man. So
but what about the other side? Can I just play the other side? What if Markkanen comes and he's not a winning player and he's not that good and actually put a bunch of hollow numbers? No one ever plays that side. I'm not even sure I'm convinced on that. I'm just playing that side of the fence.
I've been on that side, Shasky. I've been over here.
Because like Kevin Love was he is Jesus Christ immortalized, and then he got to the Cavs and was like, yeah, he can only do a couple of things.
See, the big part I think a lot of people are missing. I feel you on that, Shasky.
I'm just throwing it out there.
People are missing on it, though, is the financial aspect of what Lowry is. If Lowry was like coming in like Cat, $50 million a year, that's a solid concern, right? But the way I'm looking at it and the way the finances are, he's $18 million this year. That gives you a lot of flexibility to build a team around Steph, him, Draymond,
but he will get paid.
He will get paid.
He will get paid.
He will get paid. But we have his bird rights, too. So that means we can go over the cap to sign him. And y'all could probably talk to Slater about this a little bit more. But you can go over the cap to sign him, which means it gives you extra room in order to build your team around under the cap. And I think we can get like $40 million next year. Well, and that's a lot of money to play with a big core of Steph, Draymond, Lauri Markkanen, and Andrew Wiggins. And that's just my look at it, rather than Podz and Kuminga that you're going to have to pay $30 million to plus.
Right. Well, good call, Malik. I appreciate the call out there in Union City. Here's the chances of Anthony Slater this morning, Willard Dibs, on how likely Markkanen is to get traded to the Golden State Warriors.
Utah protecting their cap space in free agency was a pretty big signal about their plans with Markkanen. I think the Danny Ainge factor in this has made a lot of the league skeptical that he'd actually pull the trigger, that a lot of the talk that some people viewed as serious was him just gauging what his true value is, because that's what Danny Ainge does. So I guess that's a wide range thing to say of, like, I would definitely go under 50%, maybe even lower. But, like, Utah does have a situation to decide. Like, do they want to hit the full rebuild? Do they want to go after the Cooper Flags of the world, these next two drafts? And then Lauri Markkanen, he wants to win. And, I don't think Lauri Markkanen or anybody in that Utah core has loved the last two seasons when Utah hits the eject button on what had been a decent season up to the deadline, and they traded away their guys to protect their picks, their top 10 protected picks. So I think Lauri Markkanen wants some money that Utah can provide, but I think he probably wants some answers on, like, how deep and long a rebuild is this going to be? And if it is set to be one for the next several seasons, then I could see him seeing some appeal elsewhere.
All right, real quick, before we break, Shasky, I want you to respond to that. After the break it in, I want you to respond to this, which is about 30 seconds. But here it is. Slater, who do the Warriors value more, JK or Podz?
I think too often we say, well, the Warriors think this. Well, it's like, hey, there's like 95 opinions that matter within the Warriors. And obviously some are more important than others, but there'd be a debate. I'll tell you that. And it would be interesting. But the other aspect of it is, a team like Utah, who would they prefer? Who would more easily get it done for them? Who, if you put on the table, do you get to take maybe picks off the table? It's all a big gumbo, like, value play from both sides that gets mixed into one. And then, the seven most important opinions in the organization come into a room and have to make that choice. And I'm not sure the answer to that.
All right, I want you to respond to that, Shasky. You got some numbers on the Golden State Warriors? Because I'm going to say it till I'm blue in the face. I'm not trading all that for Lauri Markkanen. And I don't believe Danny Ainge is going to take some discount, say, oh, yeah, just give me a couple picks in Moses Moody or Andrew Wiggins for Lauri Markkanen. No. It doesn't work like that with Danny Ainge.